I shared my first kiss with a guy named Bummy. And 2 weeks later, he dumped me. But we eventually got back together. And this time around, he was taking me to the prom until he met a cheerleader and dumped me to take her instead. 6 months later, Bummy and that cheerleader broke up. And he called me to see if I was waiting around for him. And sure enough, I was. We got back together, but the third time was not the charm. And he dumped me again. Now, this time I was pissed. It was Halloween. I took a pumpkin, I stabbed it with a screwdriver, and I put it on the hood of his car. And that scared him. But it didn't scare him away, because 6 months later, Bummy was back, and Bummy dumped me for the fourth and final time. Shortly afterwards, with my broken heart, I went shopping with my mom. We picked up a gift for my little cousin's birthday, and then we walked into a card shop. And there was this display of silly prank envelopes. My mom, in a total parenting fail, picks up an envelope. It was business-sized, manila colored, and it said in big, bold letters, "Herpes test results." And at the bottom, in little fine print, it said, "Personal and confidential." My mom told me to send that to Bummy. So we bought the envelope. And I get home, and I rush to my brother's room to show my brother this cool envelope I got. And my brother told me I was stupid. He explained that pranks are only funny if you can actually trick the other person. And he told me there was no way to trick Bummy because the envelope was an obvious joke. Oh, and Bummy's aware he's never taken a herpes test. So I was disappointed, but I took my brother's criticism as a challenge. And I started thinking, and then the light bulb went off. I had written an article for the newspaper about Planned Parenthood. And the nurses I interviewed sent me a thank you letter. So I had in my possession Planned Parenthood letterhead, which I took to a Xerox machine. And I put my quarter in, and I photocopied the letterhead part onto a fresh piece of paper. And then I went to the family typewriter. To whom it may concern, our client, and then I typed a line and handwrote in my disguised handwriting the name of that cheerleader he took to my prom. Our client so-and-so tested positive during a recent test for herpes. You are urged to seek testing immediately, as you may have contracted a sexually transmitted disease. Get tested today. If you wait, it could be too late. And I was most proud that it rhymed. And then I took my herpes letter, put it in my herpes envelope, and I sent it to Bummy. A few weeks later, my brother's friend Steve came over. Steve is a mutual friend of Bummy. And we were all hanging out in the living room, and I asked Steve, what's been up with Bummy? And my brother and I sat there with straight faces as Steve recounted how Bummy told him this letter arrived on a Saturday when his parents and a visiting aunt were at the house. And the family was debating, is this real or not? After Bummy's dad gave him a stern, safer sex lecture, they then decided there was only one way to get to the truth. And so Bummy picked up the phone and he called the cheerleader and asked her if she had herpes. She denied that. She also demanded to see this letter. And when she saw it, she saw her name on that handwritten line and said, I know exactly who sent this. That's the handwriting of my ex-boyfriend. And so for 22 years, some guy, and I don't even know who he is, has taken the blame for something I did. So for the Unmasked theme tonight, I wanted to reveal 2 deep, dark secrets. I am the mastermind of the 1994 herpes scare. And I am a crazy ex-girlfriend.